Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope that you are having a great day today. Hope your Monday is off to a good start and you have expectations for an incredible week. Man, man, it's the 12th day of January. Man, I guess the older I get, the faster the days pass. I don't know, man. It's just look like this year is already zooming by. We are in our 11th day of our consecration. What's up, Sister DeQuana, over on the conference line? How are you today, ma'am? I hope all is well. All right, Sister DeQuana, we got some people over on Facebook and they're jumping in on YouTube. We have Elder Dexter, Sister Darlika. What's up, Sister Mia? How you doing, y'all? Let's get in. Let's tap somebody in, y'all. Share your post today. This is going to be a good 10-minute tune-up. It's going to be more of a reflective tune-up to get us started and get us crunk for this year. Yeah. I know that's old school, but yeah, we're gonna get this year started right, man. I'm just having these moments of recentering, if you will. You know, just kind of recenter my my mind and my focus. What's up, Sister Nadia? How you doing? Everybody over on YouTube, what's going on with you? If y'all could share your posts, it'd be greatly appreciated. I think that that'll help us out. I'm looking forward to this 10-minute tune-up. We're not going to hold y'all long. You know, we're going to get at it in a minute. Just want to give everybody a couple of minutes to jump in. For everybody that received the text, thank you for honoring the text that you received today about this 10-minute tune-up. Yeah. How many of y'all looking to experience an incredible 2026, man? We're 12 days in, so don't start letting your expectation and your hopes for the year wane, because the first month is critical. The first month is critical. Yeah, Pastor, what you mean the first month is critical? Well, what I'm saying is that, you know, we go in with momentum into a new year. We got this push because we really trying to get out of our current year into something new, because new is always exciting, right? New is always exciting. You get a new car, you're excited. You get a new house, you're excited. Man, you get new clothes, you're excited to put them on for the first time. Well, that's how going into a new year is. You're excited, but just like anything new, man, you've got to make sure that you maintain that level of excitement. Because if you have a new car, after a while, the new smell starts to wane, right? When you first get it, you probably parked it at the back of the parking lot, Elder Dexter. You ain't want nobody touching it. Man, you start having that car after about a year or two. Man, you park that thing anywhere. Okay, yeah, because after the first scratch, it's like all that protection and the protection factor, it goes off, because you don't have that same level of excitement as you once did. And so that's how it is sometimes when we're going into a new year. And that first month is critical. So if you don't maintain the excitement for the total year, if you don't maintain excitement for the total year, after the first 30 days or so, man, your excitement can wane. It could definitely wear off. And I don't want that to happen in 2026. Even going into 27 and 28, I want our lives to have and maintain a high level of expectancy. That's what I'm hoping and anticipating. So listen, I'm gonna get my time started. And after I get my time started, we're gonna get right into what I want to talk to you about today in our 10-minute tune-up. So here's what I want to talk about. Remember, I told you today is going to be more of a reflective kind of 10-minute tune-up, and as a subject focus, I want to talk to you about a relevant relationship. Relevant relationship. This is not abstract, right? This is not any relationship. This is not talking about or relative relationship in general terms. This is talking about you and I having a relevant relationship with God, a relevant relationship with God. And what that means is that we're going to make moves to ensure that our relationship with God is meaningful and more than a casual connection. Because what I'm finding is, man, in my 30 something plus almost 40 years of having a relationship with God, what I found to be true is that so often, man, our relationship with God becomes, bland and mundane. It's just, yeah, you're in a relationship with God, but it's not like it used to be. It's not like when you first got saved. And I know we don't expect it to be because we evolve in relationships, right? But it's got to be more meaningful than just this casual connection. Something that I do on Sundays or midweek Bible study. We want to make our relationship with God meaningful to us in a daily format. That's why Jesus, when he gave his disciples the format of prayer, he says, listen, when you pray, ask God to be central to your life and important to your life every day. He says, pray for God to have, watch this, pray for God to have entrance in your life by giving you daily bread. Not just bread once a week, but every day be my consistent source. And that means that you have to rely on God every day for the provisions that you have for living and surviving. That's right, Elder Dexter. We don't want our relationship with God to be placed on autopilot, if you will. That's a good term. I like that. Because a lot of people are living relationships with God on autopilot. It's just, it's kind of like the things that we do every day that we begin to have routine with. It's just that thing, it's just, it's like we churning, not using any real mental faculty or any mental thought or consciousness to make anything happen. You just doing it, right? And so I want to talk to you about how I believe we can make our relationship with God relevant. And here's the first thing, really simple. I gotta raise my love for God and the relationship that we share. We're in a sharing relationship with God, right? The relationship is all about two or more people, right? And so I got to raise my love for God. I got to do that. I got to do that on purpose. I got to make sure that my love for God increases. And that becomes something that we do in multiple ways. One is really about talking to him more, right? You gain a closer relationship with people the more you interact with them. That's how it is with God. You raise the love that you have for God the more you interact with him, right? If I interact with God more, that means that I'm going to have more of a connection and more of a relationship with him. If my relationship is only casual, only a casual relationship, it's only going to be like I'm going to have the kind of relationship with God that I have with a coworker. Yeah, you build relationship with your coworkers because you see them every single day. Every day, 5 days a week or 6 days, however long you work or whatever your work schedule is. You build relationship with them because you see them every single week or every day, 5 days a week, right? That's how you build your relationship. And so that's an intentional act. You go to work on purpose. Well, that's the same thing with the people in your family. The reason why you become so close to the people in your family because you're around them all the time. Yeah, you can't help but have a relationship or hopefully a close relationship with your family because you learn things about them, they learn things about you, but it's a shared interest. I want to be around them, they want to be around me. Hopefully they want to be around me because I want to be around them. Amen. Here's another thing. I got to place intentional importance on my relationship with God. it's got to be important to me. My God, my relationship with God has to have priority. It's not just something that's that I do in passing. In other words, you know, praying to me is super important. It's super important. I got to do that every single day. I got to talk to God every single day. Listen, when you are in a relationship with somebody, you make sure, or you want to talk to them every day, especially if it's a relevant relationship, if it's an intentional and passionate relationship, you want to talk with them every day. You want to talk with them every day. And if you don't talk to them, you miss aspects of the relationship. Something ain't right, right? So you got to intentionally place importance on your relationship with God. You got to do it in intentional ways. One of the reasons why God instituted festivals with the children of Israel is so they can place and maintain a high level of appreciation and expectation for that relationship that they have with him. And so those festivals was celebratory. Yeah, it's about celebrating, but it was also about making sure that they made the relationship with God important. 10% of our tithe, whenever we pay our tithes, for those of us that pay tithe, that is intentionally placing importance on God as it relates to the finances that we have. We place that importance on the relationship. That, man, I got to give God my 10% because it's important to me. I got to be in relation. I got to pray to him because that's important to me. Amen. And then finally, on purpose, I got to make God of who and what I think about every single day. I got to do that on purpose. I got to put God on my mind. You know, David wrote a psalm in Psalms 8. He asked a question. And the question that David asked was so critically important. He asked the question to God in that psalm. He says, "What is man that thou art mindful of him?" Right? Why is man always on your mind? You've made him a little bit differently than you made all of your other creations. And you've given him authority over the things that you've created. So man has a level of importance to you. And so what David is saying, God has his mind on us consistently. We should do the same. How much of our day is spent with us thinking about God? Not just thinking about him when we have trouble. No, not just thinking about God when things are not going right. Not just thinking of God when I'm not feeling right. If I'm sick or I need healing or whatever. Not gonna make God a cosmic bellhop that when we ring the bell, he hops to meet our needs, and he's not going to be our doorman, right? Whenever we need a door to go through or we need advantages, he's there to open a door for us. No, man. Every day, we're going to intentionally and on purpose put our minds on God every single day. Yeah, on purpose. I gotta find ways to think. That's when the Bible talks about in Jeremiah. In Joshua, in the book of Joshua, talking about meditating on God day and night. Yeah, meditate on God. We think about so many other things. We got to think about what we got to cook. We got to think about what we're gonna wear. And so all night you thinking about what I'm gonna put on in the morning. What I'm gonna put on in the morning. How much of that time of thought process do we put on God? Right? How much of that time do we spend thinking about God? So that's the three things that's going to cause us. And there's other things. That's not an exhaustive list. But there's other things that we need to involve ourselves in to make our relationship with God relevant. A relevant relationship. And that's that means that I got to make moves. I got to do things to ensure that my relationship with God is just not some casual connection. This is not something, you know, me and God ain't dating. We married. Oh God, yeah, no, man. Hey, me and God ain't in no dating relationship, man. Me and God we married. The Bible talks about Jesus being married to the bride. Is the church is the bride of Christ, right? We married to God, man. We're not just in no casual relationship with Him. Come on, y'all. Yeah, come on, man. We married to Him. We in this thing for the long haul. And we ain't looking to be getting no divorce. We ain't gonna serve him no divorce papers, and we're not looking for him to serve us no divorce papers, right? We ain't no separation in this thing. All right? So let's do that. Let's do that. And I believe that the more we consider God and think about God, the more he places his mind on us and is concerned about us. Amen. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Have a great rest of your January Monday, January 12th Monday, right? All right. This is the 11th day of our consecration. For those of you that are on the consecration, this second phase is all about fruits and vegetables, all about fruits and vegetables. And we move from this phase to the third phase. We'll talk about that a little while longer, to make sure you're praying 3 times a day, and also you're reading a chapter a day in the book of St. John, a chapter a day in the book of St. John. And today we're on chapter 11. We're on chapter 11. I love y'all. Look forward to being with y'all really, really soon. All right, I'm out.